Hi, welcome to the Data Tech. So today we are going to discuss something very interesting and important topic, SQL time travel. You would have seen my thumbnail or the title and you would have got surprised and what is all this about time travel. So before even getting into this, right, I just wanted to tell you a small story. So in my initial, when my experience started, by the time I got my first job in a startup, so they had a product and I was working on the data side into Hadoop and all these databases. And we have customers, the downstreams, a very small number of people have been using it, less than 10 people were using our applications. And then especially the data which I give to them, the downstream team is very small and the customer is very less. So it's all about the SQLs which I write, which I used to execute. It's all Linux environment. There is no notebooks or workbench, any UI for SQL. It's all about the command line. So in Linux, right? So if you press the up arrow, up direction button, right, it gives you the previous history. So accidentally, what happened, right? I triggered a delete command which was there in the history. I thought of running a select command. So I pressed up direction arrow to get my select query, but accidentally I executed the delete. The time when the delete got executed, it's like a modern query engines, right? So though it's not RDBMS, what I did is not an RDBMS, so there is no concept of rollback and commit. So the time when I executed it, right? So immediately the first thing that came to my mind is, what if I could able to do a time travel like 5 to 10 seconds back so that I can avoid executing the delete command. So the time that's what the first thing that I got in my mind. So later, it's a problem. Delete happened, and some of the records has been gone. And I just admitted this to my manager, and he was very cool. He said things will happen, so don't repeat it. Something. It was very cool. He handled it in a very cool manner, and then we connected with the cloud provider, and then we took the snapshot backup from them. So it's all happened. It's a long process. Incremental job got affected. Data, the downstream started escalating. It's again a very small team and small consumer, but the damage is damage, right? So the time when I was like, okay, what if we could do a time travel, right? So now we got the time travel concept. But the thing is, I didn't say in which technology that I'm going to show you this, which query engine I'm going to show you this. The thumbnail doesn't give you what exactly the information, which tech stack I'm going to use, or the title doesn't give you, right? So it's not an RDBMS. So I'm going to tell you a technology name, but even before that, you just need to have a mindset. Okay, so the reason why I'm telling you what kind of mindset is, so when I say the technology name, right, you should not be like thinking, okay, I don't know what is this, I have never worked on this. So don't think that way. Take this video as an informative and as an informative part, right? See, if you see like a lot of solution architects used to work on different technologies for the problem, right? And they were not like master in all the technologies on which they are working, especially solution architects. Some solution architects may think, may make an effort to get master in all the tech stack they are working, but then again, they cannot be in touch with it continuously. Right, so that's what, like freshers or youngsters, like you have less than 2-3 years of experience, right? When you get some scenarios, such as scenarios, use cases, you will fix it, but then you will think, why I didn't get time to learn this completely, because you are moving on to the next step, right? But don't have that, that's not a problem. Okay, don't think bad or have that mindset. You take lot of technologies only for that particular use cases, right? Now, the one such technology which I'm going to show you this time travel practical part is BigQuery. And again, just don't get confused, because don't think that, okay, I don't know BigQuery, I just going to stop watching this video. It's not like that. So please do watch the video completely. I'll tell you why you want to watch this video, as I told you already, right? So BigQuery, it's a query engine. It's a modern query engine. We do have this in Google Cloud as one of the leading data service. Okay, so it's all about SQL here. So just to know the concept of time travel, I just entered into this BigQuery. I just wanted to show you in BigQuery. So it's not like that doesn't mean like you have to go and learn BigQuery completely. It's not like that. Watch this video as like an information video. That's it. Right. So imagine you going for an interview, and imagine that your interviewer asking, like, I'm building a new query engine. What all functionalities that I can add which is not there in a traditional query engine? And then you can add this in your interview, right? You can impress him. Right? Or like imagine that you are using a database in which you don't have a time travel, but you got the situation of deleted or some accident happened. Then interviewer asking you, how could we avoid this? And you can say, maybe the DB that I am using doesn't have that functionality, but there are some DBs in market like BigQuery has the time travel. You can say in that way, right? It doesn't mean that you have to be master in BigQuery, right? So you want to watch a video, I have a 1 hour video of BigQuery with a practical and explanation theory. It's there. The link is there in the description box of this video. You can watch, but then it is not like I'm not recommending to watch the complete BigQuery video just to understand what is this time travel is all about. Right, it's just an information that something you have learned new, right? Just comment if you see such concept for the first time. Just comment yes, you are seeing it for the first time, so that I'll come to know like how many of you are like much aware of this time travel concept in a different query engine, right? So no further delay, let's get into the practical part. So how this time travel works with respect to BigQuery, right? So again, you don't want to worry about like, okay, do I need to know the complete BigQuery and all those stuff? No, it is not required. Just see this particular video only and then just have it in your mind so that you can put it somewhere when it comes, a situation comes, you can just tell to someone, okay, I hear that BigQuery has it, right? And whenever you go for a new query engine, you would start comparing it, right? That's how I used to learn. Okay, let's get into practical. Hi. Okay, let's get into the practical part. But even before I start, I'll tell you something. So, like when I explaining this time travel to one of my friend, right? He was asking a question. So it's just a one record, right? You can just better go back to the table and you can update the previous data itself, right? Why should we have to need to get into all this time travel and all those stuff? If it is one record, it's fine. I can update it back or I can insert it back. But what if my update has a condition that removed or updated 1 million records? Manually, you cannot create 1 million inserts or 1 million updates, right? So this is one thing just I wanted to share it with you. So that's why like time travel is very much important. So this is the BigQuery console page. So in the search, you can search for any Google related services. So you can choose BigQuery and it will take you to the BigQuery service page where you can open a query editor and start writing your queries, or there is a notebook option, you can use it. So currently what you're seeing here is a notebook option I have used. Okay, so this is one shell and this is another shell. So like that you can create shells here. So you can click this code, so it will create a new shell, and you can see here start coding or generate with AI. So this has been integrated with Gemini, so that you can see, if you just click that generate, you can ask for create a table with 5 columns named as activity log, and then insert 20 records with Indian names or US names. So it will create that DDLs for you. So this DDLs, whatever you see here, right, it's all created with AI only. So I have shared all these queries in the GitHub page, and the link is there in the description box of this video. You can have. So let's start with creating a table, and the accidental update and accidental delete we can do. So if you see here, the table name seems to be very weird, right? So in BigQuery, whenever you start any Google service, right, before that it will create a project ID. So in BigQuery, the first thing is the project ID will come, and then dataset name. In RDBMS and all, we used to call it as database, right? So here we call it as a dataset name, and then your table name. So I'm just creating a new table. Okay, so this has got completed. Let me just remove these empty shells. Okay, so this is my insert. Okay, I have 20 records. So let me run this. Okay, so this is done. So the next thing is, let me just select and show you the records, the 20 records. Let me change the view so that it will be much better. So if you are not giving order by, is completely okay. If you click this column, it will be get ordered, and this index column you can ignore. So that is not part of our column. The column starts with activity ID for us. So first record. So this is the first the record which I am going to accidentally update from the activity type logout to login. Okay, so activity ID is 1. So now this is my update which I accidentally triggered. Just imagine. So here I make activity type as logout, where activity ID is 1. So I will run this update. So now here instead of logout, it will change it to login. Okay, my update got completed. Now I'll run this select again. So you can able to see, I will change my view and then order it. Yeah, so login. So initially it was logout, right? See, in the insert also I have logout only, but now it is login, right? See, one important thing, when you feel like you did something accidentally, a delete or update, immediately capture the time when the update or delete got executed. So it's not like manually go to your time and check. No, it's not like that. You can get that information from the BigQuery itself. See, this is the command: select job ID, start time, end time from So this information schema dot jobs by project is actually a metadata table. So from this you can query all the start time, end time, and the query information also. You can get history of queries also. So project ID. So and then you have to parse your query. So table name will not be there here. So I'm just parsing my query just to get the exact table name, because there will be lots of tables under this data set and project ID, right? So I need this particular activity log only, and the query, the statement type is update, and I'm getting the start time by ordering it in descending so that the latest will come first. So let me run this. Sorry. So you have to note the time. So that is very important, crucial part here. So you have to get the time. So till dd mm, like, okay, so yyyy mm dd and then hour minute second. So till here you have to copy. Okay, so note this in somewhere, like once after immediately you felt like you did something accidentally, just query this table, get the time. Okay, so then only like we can able to do the time travel. Okay, so now the actual time travel query comes here. See, this is the actual time travel query. So select star from the actual table. Okay, for system underscore time as of. So this is the time travel, and I am giving my actual time. Okay, so I will just change this, and this is in US region, so I'll give UTC here. So I give the actual time interval of 5 seconds from the actual time to I'm subtracting 5 seconds. So that's why I'm using timestamp underscore sub. When you mouse over, you will see the explanation of the functions. So now let's run and see this, whether it is giving me the output as logout or login in the activity type. See, it is giving logout. You are getting logout. Logout is what the actual previous data, right? So now it is login in the actual table, but what you inserted is logout, right? So now you are getting logout. See, this is the time travel. So now how I will update this logout to my actual table, which is present as login now. See, direct update is not possible. For example, if you see this query, right, I am updating activity log from activity log with the time travel. So from table to table is same name. So this will not work. But ChatGPT recommends this query, and even some of my friends recommended this query, but this won't work. So what you have to do is you have to use CTE, common table expression. That means write this output, okay, of the time travel to a new table. And one important thing in the time travel, so you have to use the same condition what you have used in the update and delete. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a new table called underscore tt, and then I'm just giving select star from the time travel thing. So you have to give the exact time here also. So I'll just copy this time, whatever we have used the start time in my CTE also. Now I will just create this table. So after creating this table, let's query this underscore tt table to check whether I'm getting logout entry. Okay, so this is the table, right? Let me run this and let's see whether it has logout or login. See, it has logout, the old the before update information. Now what you have to do, now you have to frame an update. See, update in activity log, I am giving main table as alias name main, set activity type, that is main dot activity type equal to backup table activity type, and this backup is an alias name of our tt table, log tt means time travel. So the condition should match with both the table, the activity id, here also activity id. Now I'll run this query. So after I run this query, I will go to the select query, the very first select which I showed you. Now it's login, right? Now I'll rerun, it will be logout now. I've just updated it. Let me change this view and then order it. See, now I got logout back, right? So that's all with respect to update. Now the next thing, if it comes to delete, right? See, now again you deleted something, and even immediately after delete, capture the time, and then what you have to do, same create table as, and then the time travel tables output. But instead of update from the time travel table to the actual table, you have to do an insert. So insert into the main table, select star from the time travel table. That's it. Because since it's an update, we used update, but delete means you have to insert from the time travel table, right? So that's all, guys. It's very simple. The crucial part here, you need to capture the time immediately, right? And if you really liked and enjoyed this video, means in the comment, please do mention that you enjoyed it or you liked it. So that way I will come to know you are interested in such videos. That will encourage me to make such videos, guys. So once again, thanks for watching. Follow me in my Instagram page and LinkedIn page. All the LinkedIn and Instagram page usernames are there in the description box of this video. You can find it. Thanks for watching.